I cannot get used to seeing myself with this eyeshadow look, but hello everyone! I am finally bringing to you guys my review on one of these NYX In Your Element palettes. I personally picked out the Earth one because I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I mean, there were a lot of deterrents to this palette, or these palettes in general from NYX. First off, if you haven't heard of these came out a while ago. I feel like maybe a month or so ago, and I personally didn't buy one because these are $30 palettes. And from NYX, which is generally widespreadly known as a very affordable drugstore brand, $30? That is so close to like a Too Faced chocolate bar or that kind of a palette, you know, like getting into the higher end type stuff. Like I just couldn't justify or understand why or how these shadow palettes were $30. There are 6 different palettes you can choose from, and they are all like elementy type palettes, hence In Your Element. There is earth, air, wind, fire, metal, and water. I think I got all 6 there. I think it's a little redundant, you know, that they did wind and air. I mean, they're different, but you know. Either way, I ended up picking out the earth palette just because these palettes are a lot. Like, they're a lot to look at. The colors are kind of coordinating with the name of the palettes, but at the same time, I personally don't see exactly how the colors coordinate, A, with the element that it's supposed to be about, and then B, how they coordinate with each other, like within the palette itself. These palettes are a lot to look at. They all have some quite bright poppy colors, and a lot of them are quite mishmashed. I feel like the color, I don't quite know where the inspiration came from. Like for this earth palette, I mean, I can definitely see the inspiration in terms of like the cover of this palette for sure. Definitely coordinates. So the palette comes with 12 shadows. I personally really like the packaging. You know, it's nice and slim. It's got a nice click closure. It's got a huge mirror in here, nice and clear, so that's great. I like that the pans, you know, there's not a ton of spacing between them. They're just like, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, on and on. So it's not like they could have names listed and stuff on here, but I personally really like the packaging. I don't love the way that these are laid out. You know, usually I feel like with palettes, it's always a good idea to have them so that it's like, okay, you could use this row of colors together, you could use this row of colors together, or you could going this way if you just want to use 3 colors together. And I mean, you could do that, but I feel like this is like expert level color mixing going on here, and I feel like when I look at these palettes, it's just so haphazardly put in here, and for an artist myself to be saying that, I feel like that's saying a lot. I feel like for a non-artist person, just like, you know, someone who enjoys makeup or whatever, but they might not have a background in like color theory and that sort of a thing, I feel like if I'm getting anxiety looking at this palette and trying to figure out which colors I should put together, I feel like, and I could be totally wrong, but I feel like for the common person, this would be a very anxiety-inducing palette, along with the other ones. The water palette, I feel like that one, if you want to see it up here, I feel like the water palette, it's very redundant. Like, that is so much blue. I just feel like these palettes needed a bit of help in curating the colors. Like, I don't feel like you can get a ton of looks out of these palettes, even though they have 12 shades in them. You need supplemental palettes with these, you know, like a good mix of some blending colors, some crease colors, transition colors, that sort of a thing. But if you're getting these primarily for the colors, I think you might be pleasantly surprised with these. I know, you guys might be thinking I was going down a negative road with these palettes here, especially because the price is so high up there. As you can see here, you know, they are cheaper still in price per gram terms compared to higher end palettes like Urban Decay, Anastasia, Too Faced, all that stuff, but they are very close in price per gram to like the Sephora Pro palettes, which, you know, for a drugstore known to be affordable type brand, I just think that's a little disconcerting, you know what I mean? And especially when I first did the swatches of this palette, my friend V here on YouTube, she can vouch. I immediately texted her after I did the swatches for this palette and I was like, girl, have you tried these? Because I am so disappointed. For a $30 palette to swatch the way that this swatched, it was just so unimpressive. You guys will see in the swatching portion here of this video, the swatches do not do these palettes justice. Well, I shouldn't speak for all of the palettes. I can only speak for this one. However, you will see my shock and surprise when I go into my first tutorial here in this video. These apply so nicely on the lids. I would say they're not quite as good as something like the Sephora Pro palettes and stuff, but I think the price is justified in the quality of these shadows. They're so nice, and like I said, it's so weird because they swatch so not well, just so not well. Be it with a finger or a brush, they're really lacking in swatch quality. But that's okay, you know? Like, I think I said this in one of the tutorials, I would so much rather have my product swatch poorly but then apply nicely rather than have it swatch really great and then have it apply poorly, you know, because I'm using this in application, not, I don't do swatches, you know, for these things. Do you get what I'm saying? I did do this look with this palette, which is one of the things where I'm saying, like, I don't understand how this is an earthy look. Like, this is a very warm, fiery look. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like, peachy pink type shades here. I mean, this one could be argued that it's not quite, but it is quite peachy. But like magenta, cranberry, maroon, peach type of a thing. I don't see how that's earthy. I totally understand like these taupes and browns and the greens and teals, but the rest of it, like I said, I just don't quite see the inspiration behind these palettes. But that being said, I have been so pleasantly surprised working with these, and I've been happy with the looks that I've created. I think these palettes are going to be for someone who likes a challenge with their eyeshadows if they're just going to be pulling from the one palette here. You know, if you are looking to get a look out of just this palette. I think, you know, if you're using this supplementally, you're not gonna have a problem, you know, going in with a different, like, basics type Urban Decay palette or something and using that and then just using this for like pops of colors and stuff. But I just feel like for $30 it shouldn't be as much of a challenge, and then when you finally do put looks together, it's like this doesn't scream earth to me. To some people that's gonna matter, to some people it won't. They blend so nicely on the lid. The colors all blend nicely together. They don't blend into each other too bad. You know, like there are definitely some colors in here where if you try and blend them, they're gonna muddy just based on color theory. However, I do think they are definitely work withable. They don't blend away. They just blend nice and creamily. The actual satiny metallic shades are a bit gritty, like the green and the gold especially. This taupe one is okay, but like the magenta ones as well. The mattes are actually quite buttery, quite nice, but like I said, the glittery type shimmery ones are a bit gritty, and they do need to be built up if you are wanting intense pigment from them. Otherwise they just kind of turn into like an over spray type shearer type of a finish, which for a $30 palette, you know, and plus these shadows last all day. I don't have any problem with them creasing or fading. Now granted, I do use an eyeshadow primer and stuff underneath them just because I have never found an eyeshadow that doesn't crease or fade without an eyeshadow primer on underneath it. But that being said, if an eyeshadow is bad, even if I do use a primer and stuff, it will still end up creasing and fading, and these do not do that. These stay all throughout the day. I am so pleasantly surprised with the way that these have performed on my lids. That being said, would I recommend these palettes? Based on my experience with this, no. But I will say that if you are interested in them, my experience with this palette has said that I think it's worth a shot. I can't lie to you guys, I have been very pleasantly surprised and happy with the looks that I've been able to come up with this palette. So I hope that seeing swatches and the few tutorials here that I came up with are going to be helpful for you guys in seeing, you know, how this product performs and whatnot. So here we go, we will jump on into that, and then I will see you all at the very end of the video. So, woo, here we go. Alright, hello, time for my first tutorial thing with the NYX Earth palette. I'm scared. After doing swatches and whatnot, I have to be honest, I don't have any form of faith in anything that I'm going to create here. So, to start off, let's give these shadows a chance and put down a primer. Just using my normal primer here. Whip out something that I haven't used in a while. I've got one of my color tattoos. This is in the shade Nude Compliment. I'm pretty sure this was limited edition, but you know, it's basically just a taupey kind of a shade. It's also pretty sheer, so it's not gonna give too much help to the NYX shadows, but you know, it is what it is. So to start this off, I'm gonna go ahead into this third shade on the top row there and just dip a fluffy blendy brush in there. Okay, got quite a bit of kick up, but let's see how this does. I'm just gonna put this in the crease here and blend it out. I mean, it's not doing as horribly as I thought it was gonna do. It's actually pretty pigmented. Considering how much tapped off. I suppose I can get you guys a little closer here. And then to add some depth to that, I'm just going to take a fluffy, skinnier than the last one brush. I'm going to dip this into this cool slate gray color here. This one looks pretty crumbly as well. You can see that. But I'm just gonna use this in the deeper part of my crease and more concentrated on the outside. I'm actually pretty shocked, you guys. This is actually like blending very easily and very well. It doesn't seem like it's blending away, it's just blending, you know? So, I mean, that's the way it is sometimes, you know? You swatch things and it looks awful, but then application is great. I mean, I'd rather have it be that way than have swatches be great, but then have it apply really poorly onto the lids, because, like, this is how I'm using it on an everyday basis, you know? I'm using it on my lids. I'm not swatching it. So, fingers crossed. Let's hope this keeps going well. Sure, as you could have guessed by what color I put down as a base, I'm gonna go in with this gorgeous taupey shade. I don't even know exactly how to describe it. It's like a greeny, gray taupey. Yum. It's a yum color. I love these kind of colors for all over the lid. I think I just stuttered. That's how much I love it. But I'm just gonna put this all over the lid, as you probably expected by what I just said. I just think, and this is one of those colors that looks good on everybody, regardless of what your skin color is, of what your eye color is. I just think these colors look gorgeous on people in general. Yeah? I like it. I'm gonna go ahead and use this fluffy brush from earlier and dip this into the teal shade. And I'm just gonna be using this on the very outer portion of the lid. So I'm using that one dip on both of my eyes, and I'm just using this to kind of, you know, add some more dimension to the actual lid rather than just the crease. And then I'm just going to blend this into where I had placed that gray color from before. Yeah, it just adds that little bit of extra dimension, that extra oomph to an otherwise, okay eye look, but I just think it amps it up. Then with an angled brush, I'm just going to take that same teal shade. I mean, they both start with a T. I was close. And I'm just going to be using this to line my lower lash line. clean fluffy brush here and dip it into this nice emeraldy jadey green. And I'm just going to be smudging out that last color we put on the lower lash line. Then as a very strategic inner corner highlight, I'm going to be using this orangey gold color. It's kind of a goldenrod, really. I'm just going to be using this ever so slightly in the inner corners. I don't want it to be quite as bam-pow as I usually do, but do you see that? It's just that little bit. Just that little itty-bitty pop. It's like it gives you a hint of jaundice, but not complete full-on kidney failure. Yeah, you get me? Alright, and here we go, all finished. I just went ahead and put some emerald liner on my waterline to mimic what we did on the bottom lash line, and then I did mascara, and that is it. Yay! I like the way this turned out. I mean, I think everything blended really nicely. I think the colors look really good together, and I'm happy with the way things are. So yay! Proving me wrong, NYX! I'm excited to try out some more looks with this now, which I wasn't initially even excited to try out even one look, so yay! Yay! Alright, hello, time for tutorial number 2. I suppose this would be 4. Number 2. As much as I enjoyed the last one that I did, you know, I liked the way that everything performed and turned out, I can't lie to you guys, this palette gives me anxiety just looking at it. I'm like, I don't know if it's like the layout or anything, I don't, but that's okay. I'm gonna push through it. We're gonna do this together. We're gonna do another tutorial here. So I'm gonna start off by priming the lids. Yeah, we're going there. I'm gonna use Mermaid Parade from Milk, and with this stuff, seriously, just a dabble do ya. I don't want this to be too intense, but at the same time, it's a milk pigment, so it's gonna be pretty intense. But I've already primed underneath this. I just wanna give my shadows something to stick to, as always, and also help out in the pigment department. Why not, right? Let's make this green. That is indeed green. I'm gonna go ahead and zoom you in. See what I'm doing here. I'm gonna start off with the light brown color, perhaps again. I don't really remember. Did I use this one first last time too? It's good, creasy transition shade. So go ahead and just put this throughout my whole crease here. I'm not gonna put it up too high, but yeah, just like so, blending as well as I can. Next up, I'm just taking a bit pointier of a fluffy brush, and I'm going to use this teal color again. I say again because I used it in my last tutorial, but I'm going to use this in the outside parts of my crease. So outside and inside. Just going to concentrate it in there, and then whatever excess I may have on my brush, I will bring that towards the center. I want it to be dark, light, dark, if you get what I'm saying. Alright, so that is all done. Then I'm just going to go ahead and use a dense, thin, flat shader brush and go in with the green. No big shocker there since I put green all over my lid. And I'm going to put this on most of my lid, my whole lid. Let's do it. Let's see how this does. It's kind of falling out. Let's try using my finger. Okay, I'm still getting some fallout there, but it looks like it's applying a bit better. I feel like this green was kind of meant to be more of a wash of color, as I'm sure you saw in my swatches and stuff, rather than an ultra poppy green, hence why I put a green underneath it. But you can see the difference. Like, you can definitely see how this one is more of an emerald green and this one's looking a lot more seafoam without it on top. So now you could leave this just like this, but I'm just gonna go ahead and use my finger again and very softly dip it into this taupey shade, and then I'm just gonna dab this on the inside of my, not the inside of my lid, but the middle of my lid. It's not gonna do a ton, I'm assuming. But yeah, do you see that? It's just adding that little extra dimension. Yeah, do you see the difference? Boom, boom. They're both good. I just, this is more what I was going for today. Yeah, we feeling it? Then I'm gonna take a clean flat shader brush and dip it into this creamy color up top. I'm just gonna put this below the brow. And then we're just gonna take a flat smudgy brush, dip it into the gold quite liberally, smudge this along the lower lash line. Alright, and here is the finished look, you guys. I am happy with this turned out. Again, just like with the first one, everything seemed to blend really nicely together. I just finished this off by putting a gold liner in my waterline, a yellow gold, to match the, what is it called? The eyeshadow that we put along the lower lash line. And then I just did some winged black liner and put on mascara. And I like the look. You know, it was pretty simple to put together, but I think it looks really nice and really punchy. Kind of matches my actual eye color, but that's okay. We can go matchy match every now and then. Hello everyone. Last, final, third tutorial here for this palette. I have got something specific in mind and I am hoping that I can make that come to life. And it has something to do with the pinky shades, since I haven't used those yet, right? I don't think at all. So I'm going to try and rectify that with this tutorial. I've also never tried this kind of an eye look before, so this is gonna be new for all of us, I think. So I will get you zoomed in here. To start off, I'm going to be using the magenta shade here, a pointy pencil type brush. Oh, I'm so scared. Give me strength, guys. Give me strength. And I'm going to be using this in the crease, and then wait for it, and don't worry, this can be messy. What in my mind is going to work out here in real life, it's okay that it's a bit messy. Oh, I already have it on eye primer as well, but so I'm going to be putting this in the crease, and then I'm going to be swooping it. Yeah, swoop. Alright, are you scared for me yet? I'm scared for me, but I'm hoping this will work. It better work. I've got videos to film today. So next, I'm going to be taking a fluffy blending brush, and I'm going to be dipping it in the peach shade right next door to the one we just used. Tap that off, and then I am going to be blending. So I am going to be blending not only into the color, but then also a little bit up and out, if you catch my drift, slash if you can see what I'm doing. Okay, there we go. What are we thinking? Are you still scared for me? I understand. I kind of am too. So, to make this even better, let's go ahead with the maroon kind of brick color here in the top row. cap that off. I'm using the same pencil brush as before. I just want to get some more of that sharpness that I had blended away. So I'm just going to be placing this near the bottom. Again, don't worry about sharpness or anything. We're going to be fixing that in a moment. So now that that's done, I'm gonna go ahead and use my M.A.C Soft Ochre paint pot and just a cream shadow brush. I'm going to be using this to cut the thing. I don't know proper eyeshadow tutorial terminology here. But yeah, you get what I'm doing. I'm just going in and making that sharp again and making the lid space nice and neutral colored. Yeah. Although it does kind of end up blending with the pink color and making it more pink than yellow, but that's okay. This is a pink look. I'm not trying to deny it of its pinkness. So this side was more successful than this side, but I think I'm gonna go with it. I feel like when my eyes are not looking down, you can't tell. So to finish up here, I'm gonna go ahead and use a fluffy shader brush, and I'm going to dip this into the more satiny type magenta shade. I just want a lighter kind of a thing here, right? Do you see what I'm doing? Slash what I'm going for. I want it to blend with the pink from up above and then to really lightly metallicize into a gradient like that. Ooh, yeah? Are we feeling Instagrammy? I know I kind of am. And I don't want to do this completely, just, you know, I'm just creating that gradient. So I want to leave a little bit of the paint pot bare around that area. But ooh, Instagram vibes. I really didn't know if this was gonna work, you guys. I'm much happier with this side for sure, but I think overall this is becoming a success. Yay for trying something new and having it not be a complete and total failure. Alright, you guys, so you could totally leave this like this, but I want to go ultra Instagram. I mean, obviously you would probably want to put on mascara and stuff too, but before I do that, so I just went ahead and did some dramatic black liner, you know, lining up the wing with where we did this swoopy thing with the shadow, right? So now, I wish I had like legitimate glitter liner. I used to, but it has since, you know, gone spoiled. I don't remember when I threw it away, but it definitely doesn't exist in my home anymore. So I do, however, have some actual like gold. It's not glitter, but you know, I think it's gonna do the trick, at least for what I was thinking of with this eye look. Really hoping I don't ruin this right now, because as of right now, I'm like happy with this look, but why not add a little something extra? So I'm gonna go ahead and do a gold. Oh, I can't talk, I'm so nervous. I'm gonna do a gold stripe in the crease, you know, right under where we did the pink. I'm legitimately not breathing, I'm so nervous. It's just so new to me. I'm also very nervous to like look up or anything because I don't want this to like imprint on the top part of my lid. But I think so far so good. Then you just kind of connect this right above the black liner. Woo! Did I do it? Are you proud, Mom? Alright, you guys, so here we go. I am happy with the look. It is definitely something very, very different for me, but I just finished it off by putting some nude liner in my waterline and then putting on mascara, and here it is. I finally tried out a glitter cut crease and just something different in general. I don't think I've ever tried this kind of a look before, but I like how, you know, when we're straight on, you can kind of get a little peek of the glitter, but then it's like really just when I look down that it's just like that little bit of something special. So yay! I mean, there's nothing earthy about this, but yay! Third and final look with this earth palette. Alright, so there you have it. There you guys can see all the looks and tutorials and swatches and whatnot that I was able to come up with this NYX Earth In Your Element palette. I really do feel quite mixed on them in the sense that, like, I am happy with the way my looks turned out, but am I gonna be buying any more of these? Slash, am I like super duper happy with my purchase? No, I'm not. You know, I can't see myself reaching for this too much, but I also don't think it's a garbage palette. So would I recommend the palette? No. But would I say go for it if you are interested in the palette? Yeah. Like, I do think if you are interested in any of these palettes, now granted, that's me thinking that all of the palettes perform equally. I can't speak for certain on that, and I am a bit disappointed in the fact that these are so expensive, just considering, you know, the brand NYX as a whole. But, you know, I have seen on Ulta, apparently people have told me that they've gone on like half price sale. I would say wait for that. Like, if you got these for 15 bucks, heck yes. Heck yes, I would recommend them. Like, I think that is a great price for that, considering the brand and whatnot. So be on a lookout for deals. Otherwise, you know, if you want to spend your 30 bucks like I did, you definitely can, and I don't think you're gonna be completely disappointed, you know? Hopefully you will be pleasantly surprised as well with your palette if you do end up purchasing it. So you guys should definitely let me know in the comments down below if you have tried any of these NYX In Your Element palettes, be it this Earth one or any of the other ones. I would love to know if you had the same experience as me, and also how the other palettes have performed across the board, if you've tried the fire one, the air one, the metal one, whatever it is. I just love hearing from you guys and knowing what your experience with things are, so definitely comment down below, let me know. But overall, I just hope this review was helpful and or enjoyable for you all in seeing whether or not these NYX palettes are going to be something you're going to want to be purchasing for yourself or a friend, whatever, you know, since it is the holiday season. If it was, please do go ahead and give me a thumbs up down below. I would really appreciate it. And if you're new here, hey, hi, hello, how are you? You can go ahead and subscribe if you want to see more content from me in the future. You can become a member of my casserole family here on my channel. I would love to have you here. And as always, I just hope you guys are all doing well. And until next time, just stay well until then. Bye!